Confirmed. Northern Illinois is better than Georgia. Go Northern Illinois. Fight Northern Illinois. They were able to beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame in South Bend, but Georgia couldn't. But wait, Lane Kiffin told me the SEC is the best. Whoa. Hey, watch it. Georgia's won national championship after national championship, and Notre Dame is a complete dud. I heard ad nauseum before this game. Remember that one time Notre Dame lost to Alabama? You cannot. Here's my deal. You cannot, as an SEC fan, tout the conference all the way along, and then Tennessee gets blown out by Ohio State. Then you're kind of pissed off that Texas didn't compete that well against Arizona State. And in the SEC's eyes, Arizona State is a make-a-wish. Listen to the ESPN broadcast. They were like, oh, these scrappy guys from Tempe taking on the NFL caliber of Texas. A miracle they could keep it a ball game. And that's how most SEC fans thought of Arizona State. This party school from out west, there's no way they'll compete. Not only did they compete, they should have won the game, and the referees took it out of their hands. And buddy, now there's this. Now Georgia loses to Notre Dame. And all of a sudden, Lane Kiffin's getting real quiet. Paul, I'm telling you, Paul, if not Rocco Beck, that's the Iowa State quarterback. If Carson Beck would have played, I'm telling you, Paul, they would have won. It is insufferable. You understand, I turn on the SEC network for some god-awful reason after the Arizona State and Texas game, and they're talking about how, the SEC just outclassed the Big 12. Arizona State got outclassed. What does that even mean? What kind of class does Texas have? We're talking about the same Texas team that should have, there was a massive missed targeting. And instead of talking about the actual targeting, Joe Tessitore, the broadcasters, were like, yeah, it's probably targeting. But also that defender, former walk-on, what a story. Second team All-American. What a stand-up kid, lunch pail guy, first one in, last one out, kind of guy you let date your daughter. That's the rhetoric around the SEC. And guess what? I'm not that salty. This isn't salt. I grew up in Arkansas. I grew up an SEC guy. What has been proven, and it's ESPN's nightmare, is that the SEC's not that good. Well, Georgia had its starting quarterback out. That starting quarterback was one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the Power Four. Did he have an insane team around him? Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Did they help him? Did they tout him? No doubt. That Georgia team should have lost to Georgia Tech. And they're your second best team. They're the second best team in the SEC. Now, look, Ole Miss routed the third string Duke quarterback. Well, you want a cookie? Oh, congrats, Lane Kiffin. You lost to Kentucky. Oh, but you killed the third string quarterback at Duke? Oh, my goodness. You guys should get a bowl trophy for that. And you do. And it's the only thing you get. There are no moral victories. The ESPN propaganda they push to you is that the SEC would go undefeated in hypothetical games. Well, the SEC is only defeated in non-hypothetical games. When we actually play these hypotheticals out, the SEC can't seem to win. Is anybody else shocked by this? Is anybody else surprised that 11-3 Georgia? I watched Carson Beck this season, and in the same way that I watched Quinn Ewers, I wanted to absolutely pull my hair out. I never had fun watching Carson Beck. It was never an enjoyable experience. He never made me happy playing on a football field. They're winning at home against Tennessee, sure. He had 10 points against Ole Miss. When he got taken, and God forbid I give credit to Texas, but I guess I will. When he was taken out of the game against Texas via injury, he was 7 for 13. Oh, but he had 5 touchdowns against Georgia Tech. They went to 8 overtimes. Dude had all the time in the world to throw a gajillion passes in OT. Oh, he had 4 touchdowns against UMass. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. UMass, huh? Boy, he really gave it to... Well, he had 5 rushing yards on 5 attempts against UMass. This is... Paul... insufferable. And at some point, that product becomes so diluted, we stop watching it. The NBA. Bah. The MLB. Bah. The only thing still alive right now is the NFL. Why? Because ESPN doesn't have access to it. And now ESPN has total access to the College Football Playoff Committee and to the SEC, and the SEC is highly touted. I watched Georgia lose. I watched Arizona State beat Texas. Scoreboard. Texas wins. Sure. Scorebook. Box score. Arizona State wins. And I can't stop thinking what Iowa State, who beat Miami, what BYU, who thrashed Colorado, would have done in the college football playoff. But no, we had to see mighty Georgia go win a national championship. Come on, guys. Look at them. They're going to do it on a backup quarterback. And then I go back to the, non-SEC team, Ohio State, who brought in the third-string quarterback and won a national championship in the first ever year of the college football playoff. But he's just a boy. Gunnar Stockton's just a boy. Carson Beck would have been. Stop. If that's what this is supposed to be, that Georgia is the best team in the country and they can dominate everybody, and they're, oh my gosh, they're so world beating that they deserve to go walk to a national. Shouldn't even play the playoff because Georgia's there. Same team that lost to Alabama, who was terrible. Same team that lost to Ole Miss, 28-10. That's the Georgia team who struggled for 3 quarters against UMass and went to 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech. That's the Georgia team you wanted to gift the national championship. Newsflash, buddy. The SEC is not winning the college football playoff this year. They're not. Texas is going to lose to Ohio State. And it's legendary. It's legendary that this is the year, for the second year in a row, we won't have a single SEC team in the college football playoff national championship. ESPN might go under. They might have to start firing people. I'm not sure how they're going to stay in business. It's happy. It's a happy day. It's a happy day over here because we have just once again seen that the SEC propaganda machine is just stupid. It's stupid. The SEC network. I'd rather watch Locked On SEC. That dude's got more of a brain cell than anybody else over there. I'd rather watch Locked On College Football. God knows I'd rather watch Locked On Big 12. I hope you can revel in this. I hope you can revel in SEC tears. And I hope that you turn on the Pine Bomb show tomorrow. I don't care if he gets good ratings or bad ratings. I don't give a rat's butt. I just can't wait to hear, Paul, yeah, Alabama lost, but they got cheated by the referees. Even Kirby Smart, after the game, was like, well, we didn't have enough time to substitute. I didn't know that was legal. And I'm sure the world's out to get you, huh, there, Big Curb. 10 points. 10 points. I live in Georgia now, too. I was at a Georgia bar. I was kind of rooting for him just because, like, my friends are Georgia fans now because I live down here. Oops. My bad. I also had $100 on Georgia. I owe my bookie a lot this week. Coming up, there's some like BYU Utah stuff going on that I addressed it earlier this week. I want to revisit it. This is Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Rocket Money. I'm 23 years old, which is old enough to know the SEC is not that good at football. I'm also old enough to not be able to do finances still. They didn't teach me how to do that stuff in college or high school. I was a journalism guy. I've got subscriptions I didn't even know I was paying for multiple times. Like one of them is like this Apple thing where it has storage on my iCloud. What does that mean? Don't know. What is an iCloud? Still don't know. Rocket Money was like, hey, boss, you're paying for that twice, so stop. Rocket Money has over 5 million users, has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using the app's premium features. Again, subscription tracker, biggest thing. They have a goals feature as well. Automatically set aside money for your future. No more stressing about budgeting every month. That's been key for me. Cancel unwanted subscriptions. Reach your financial goals with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That is rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Visit Rocket Money and do it today.